I mean, baby. Yo, camera. I was about to say, hello, camera. We're being idiot. Idiot. Give me 1 second, everybody. I haven't been able to shower. I'm sweating at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Oh, everything ran out so much today. It was crazy. It was crazy, everybody. Whoop. Alright, let me throw one thing in a pan and then we booting up Twilight Princess, baby. Oh wait, that's not necessary. Hoppa. Right, 2 pieces of chicken in the pan and we going, baby. Hop, hop. Go flat, please. Go really flat, please. Really flat. Why are you hanging by a thread? Oh, everybody, I'm so tired. Dude, let's do, hello. Yeah, I'm so glad that I just randomly touched with my finger and there's no actual up, plus, or minus button on the stove. Stupid, who designed this? Monkeys. It's designed by monkeys, chat. Monkeys! Oh my god, alright, where the hell is... Yes, everybody, I have seen the direct. Was working last week, but now returned to the normal schedule. Oh. Well, let's get this microphone in view. Alright, where is... Alright, let me boot up Twilight Princess. Dusklight, everybody. ROM hacks? Yeah, that's where I put Dusklight. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Google Stadia controller connected. Sick. No, that's the Dusklight Explorer. That's probably the thing we do not want to have anywhere. Hey, we can just stretch it. That is pretty cool. Where's my audio, though? Oh, my audio. You guys have audio. Oh, look how smooth. This looks so good. All right, let's first get into this. Let me first, get this rolling, and then we'll get to the Nintendo Direct, yeah? One thing at a time, everybody. No, it's the correct mic. It's just I was very far away from the mic. The mic! Name your horse $20. Yeah, what shall I name my horse, chat? What do we name the horse? Hello, Link the Great. Hello, Georg. Hello, Jonesy. Hello, Jojo. Hello, Andrew. Hello, Shane. Got this on my Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. It stays at 4K, max 120 FPS. That's pretty impressive. I have the same phone, so I should give that a shot. Buck 20! Buck 50! We're gonna call him Buck 20. Where's the C? Oh, and this is my name. The horse is gonna be called Buck 20. I'm gonna call him Bucky Boy. I'm gonna call this horse Buck 20. Where's the C? Where's the C? Where's the K? Where's the Y? Bucky. And as we call a Buck and Fitty. I kind of want to call I just kind of want to call him Fitty. We're just gonna call him Buck Fitty because Buck Fitty clings better. It sounds better than Buck 20. Where is the K? I want a Buck Fitty. K. We will pay $40 for him because that makes it more funny. The name Beppis, Buck 20, fast and speedy. Call it Bingus. Bingus is a good one. Hello, Martinez. Welcome to the stream, you lovely human being. Hello, Petey. Welcome. Everybody, take a seat. We're like I said, we're gonna get into the game real quick, as in the ball rolling for Twilight Princess, and we'll look around in Dusklight. I didn't add any mods or texture packs or anything. I just kind of want to see how it runs. Maybe later on, if we play this a second time on stream, I'll add a fun texture pack, for example. But first, we're gonna get the ball rolling, and then I'm gonna give my opinion about what happened today. Yeah, you're correct. Another YouTuber was sent to prison. No. Shit, Buck Fitty ain't gonna fit. Buck Fitty ain't gonna... No! I need like 5 more letters after Buck, but I only had 4. That sucks. Otherwise, I have Buck Fit. Buck Fef. And I don't want Buck Fef. That's not what I want. $50. Where's the space? Can I do buckos? That's even better. $50. I'm just gonna call him $50. Where's the K? Gosh darn, everything is so hard to find. $50. Your horse, $50. Yeah, but it's not perfect yet. If you look at the characters and you look on the edge of the characters, you can see that the water rippling effect is kind of messing with the edge of their texture. Still, the frame rate is smooth. No, Jonesy. You know what's really reliable? $50. Never been to Hyrule, right? In the Kingdom of Hyrule, there's a great castle around it. It's castle town, a community far bigger than our little village, and far bigger than Hyrule, so the rest of the world the gods created. Yeah, what does Ordon Village really fall into? Oh, cool, I finally got to join the stream to say hello. Hello, Philip, welcome! Actually quite an expensive horse for the time, for 50 buckaroonies. Yeah, 50 smackaroonies in like 1200. Or whatever this takes place. Whenever the horse is mentioned, read the sentence out loud. All caps. I hope we get a Hero Shade DLC for the OOT remake. I don't expect it. I don't think they'll add... I would actually be surprised if they add DLC to Ocarina of Time. I wouldn't be surprised if they decide after Ocarina of Time, let's say it's a success, to also just redo Majora's Mask. Especially if there's enough, like, fan demand for it. Because that's what happened during Ocarina, like Majora's Mask 3DS. Although I think if Nintendo were to remake Majora's Mask again, they will again butcher it. Because the original developers of Majora's Mask absolutely hate what they created back then. If you don't know what I'm on about, this is like completely well known that they hate Majora's Mask. I've been enjoying this game, but boy was I hoping Nintendo officially remastered for the Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo Direct. Yeah, I don't know that guy who comments. I don't know what their problem is, but for some reason Nintendo either really acts like they really like money and they'll take the shortest cut, like the shortest shortcut. One of the best levels of Rayman 3, by the way, the shortest shortcut. But they will take the shortest shortcut to make money, and sometimes there's like literally money on the table and they're like, we do not want it. We refuse to take it. What do you mean we re-release Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD with incredible minimal amounts of effort? Now, of course, we're not going to do that and re-release them on the Switch 1 or 2. Why do they hate Majora's Mask? They see Majora's Mask as a mistake, Leonard. If you look up a lot of the interviews with Ayanuma about Majora's Mask and the development team around that time, you will quickly realize that. This is also why Majora's Mask 3D is so different compared to the original. There's a lot of stuff they hated about like gameplay and whatnot. Hello, phone. Can I unlock? Thank you. Idiot. Oh my god, I'm dying. Give me 1 second, everybody. I'm going to answer one text, and then we're really going to get into it. Is there anything else I want to say to this person before I actually like get into stream and basically ignore my phone for 4 hours almost? I wish good luck in gameplay, not to crash. Wish me luck with non... I don't know what the last thing you said. Oh yeah, and Delta Rune Chapter 5 has a trailer now. I don't understand all the hype around Delta Rune. I truly don't understand it. Cool. Yeah, they disliked a lot of the reused assets. They disliked some of the stories. They hated basically every mechanic they made. That's why they destroyed every mechanic they made. The thing is, there's so many things they actually disliked about what they did with Majora's Mask that it's hard to summarize. This is why the Deku mask in Majora's Mask 3DS, yeah, the remake, is absolutely useless or completely broken because they fucked with it. This is why the entire Twin Mold fight was replaced and completely different. Like, if you want to understand what are all the things that the original developers kind of disliked about the original Majora's Mask and they tried to quote-unquote fix in the 3DS remake, just look at how different the 3DS remake of Majora's Mask is compared to the original, compared to Ocarina of Time 3DS and the original. Ocarina of Time, the amount of intervention was minimal. Minimal. They changed some things in the water temple, and they changed some item stuff, and that's... God, hair, can you fuck off from my face? Thank you. That is kind of it, you know? Like, they barely changed anything about Ocarina of Time when they made it 3D, you know, the 3DS version. Meanwhile, like Majora's Mask, you could barely even call it the same game. Every mask works different. Every mask works differently. The jumping off the lily pads as Deku, not the same. The Zora mask swimming, not the same. The Goron rolling, not the same. All the boss fights, very different. You know, like, there was so much changed about Ocarina of Time 3D, and I hate it. I absolutely despise all of it. But, oh shit, I forgot to read the line out loud. I did read what you say, Kotlo, I just forgot to read it out loud. Oh, are we complaining about Majora's Mask 3D again? Howdy, y'all. Yeah, no, let me get to the actual point, actually. Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo Switch. The video that... the topic that Commonwealth Realm has made enough videos on already, so he might as well just quit now that it's been officially announced, because he's already covered everything, I think. This is becoming a bit of a dead meme in the fucking community at this point, but also love Commonwealth Realm to death. It makes everyone wants your money. Where's the buck 50? Where's 50 bucko? Yeah, everybody's asking for my money. That is true, though. But the thing is with Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo Switch 2. Am I excited about it? Well, like I've said in the past, while I think it is quite cool that we're getting a... Also, this game needs to be much, much, much louder. I cannot change that here. That is great. Aha. Very nicely done, boys. Hello. Boom. How loud is it now? Oh. Oh, that's actually pretty good. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good volume. I might lower it, like, slightly. What other settings do we have in this? Basically, while I wasn't necessarily super excited about another Ocarina of Time remake, because I think they already did a very good job with the 3DS remake. It is interesting that they're going to do it again. They could improve some things, and they could especially improve stuff like visual quality and the ambiance and other things. They are also taking a massive risk, because it is one of the most beloved games ever. And, you know, it is a bit of an edgy choice, you know. Like, they could also completely butcher it. Who knows? Personally, I think it looks interesting. I think the art direction looks interesting in a way as well, but could also be a problem, because it looks kind of hyper-realistic, Unreal Engine 5-esque. You know, all those HD remake mock-ups we saw on YouTube with, like, Unity and Unreal Engine. It kind of reminds me of that in some ways. But this could also just be a form of a cutscene. We don't really know what official gameplay is going to look like. You know? I think the tapestry, like the visuals of the tapestry in that section look really cool. Obviously, a lot of people are mentioning about, like, oh yeah, you could see the Triforce glow up on his hand in that intro, which doesn't make sense. That is true. Originally, the Triforce was still in the Sacred Realm until Link opened this door of time with all the spiritual stones, pulled out the Master Sword, and the entire adult timeline, child timeline split happened. This is just promotional material, you know, so who knows if that's canon or if that's changing or whatever. I hope it's not. But I think we could see a very positive future for Zelda if Nintendo goes back to Ocarina of Time, remakes it. It becomes very popular, like on a similar level to like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, that kind of angle, you know. So like 15 million, 20 million, 25 million copies sold, like big. Because you got to remember, Breath of the Wild sold like 35 million copies, somewhere around that ballpark, 30, 35. This could actually inspire them again to combine both the Breath of the Wild open world angles and the more linear Ocarina of Time angles, which could actually create the perfect blend, you know? And in general, I think it will be really positive for the Zelda franchise as a whole, because like I've said in the past, Nintendo has said that they are moving towards becoming a media company. Nintendo has realized that the grass is greener on the other side. Why only make video games when you can make video games, merchandise, plushies, Legos, an amusement park, TV shows, movies? They are trying to become a media company. If you actually keep an eye on Nintendo as a company, because they obviously kind of tell these things to their investors, you will have figured out that they have understood that Nintendo can actually become kind of like Disney, but potentially even better. That's also why they did the Universal theme park, you know, with the Mario theme park. This is why the Mario movies have come out. This is why the Zelda movie is coming. This is why they have done Lego collabs. Nintendo understands that there is a broader market that they can surface, a broader entity they can become, which is kind of really cool, because it allows it to, it could also become like kind of a monster, and like a multi-armed monster, like a kraken, but it can also be really cool, because then all those products, all those cool pieces of media can feed on each other. You know, so we'll have like cool movies and games, and you know, and it all coalesces into really cool stuff. Video games are going to be dead soon. No, I don't see that. I don't agree on that. It's just one media form. Bloom brightness. No. I absolutely despise bloom. Well, a little bit of bloom is okay, but I think this game has too much bloom. No, we'll go for Dusklight. We are going to cap the frame rate, and I think 240 is a fine cap to be at. Shadow resolution. I have a pretty good PC, so I think we're just going to max out everything. Show FPS counter. Yeah, sure, why not? Okay. But, so in general, I am quite positive about Ocarina of Time for the Switch. I think it could be really cool. I think it could be very good for the franchise in a lot of ways, and especially new fans who might have never experienced Ocarina of Time. So I think in many ways that could be really cool and a very positive thing. The only thing I'm scared about is that they might mess it up, because it is like the fact that they nailed Ocarina of Time for the 3DS so well is also because they stuck to it so hardcore, you know? Damage multiplier, instant death, no heart drops. Oh, bigger wallets, disable rupee cutscenes, faster climbing. Okay, cool. Cheats? Infinite hearts, infinite arrows, infinite seeds, bombs, oxygen, moon jump, super claw shot, always great spin. Oh, we might actually mess around with this later on. Invisible enemies, that's cool. I don't think we can really upgrade the quality anymore at this point. Enable minimap, disable cutscene, pillar boxing. Yeah, no, let's get rid of the black bars. Okay, cool. We're running at 120 FPS. Pretty good. Okay, so yeah, in general, my opinion about Ocarina of Time for the Switch is mostly positive. And I think especially it could be very cool if Nintendo pulls it off correctly. That at the end of the game, at the end of the year, like October, November, Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo Switch comes out. It actually does well. They sell a good amount of copies. So we're talking about 15 million plus. So it does just as well as Twilight Princess or better. Then in April, the movie comes out. That again brings hype to the community and everything. I think we could really flourish a bit more as a community. Because one thing we've had a bit of a problem at, which people who really like Twilight Tears of the Kingdom kind of want to deny, but it is very true. When Tears of the Kingdom came out, we have seen the highest highs, together with Breath of the Wild, the highest highs for the Zelda community. But unlike Breath of the Wild, after the release of Tears of the Kingdom, we have seen the lowest lows. I have never, ever in my life, and I've been doing YouTube for 11 years, I have never seen anybody, seen any channel go and quadruple their monthly views and then see them crater by 90% in 3 months that fast. It was very clear with Tears of the Kingdom that everybody, I washed 50 I washed $50 for you. Oh my God, my money is clean. Ah, yeah, the smile is mean, my money is clean. Ramen is my scheme. Bars. Okay, let me check my chicken before it's dead. Well, it is already dead, but burnt. Oh. These little hairs that go in front of my head, they really itch. They're kind of itching and bitching, boys. 50 bucks, gang. You're clean rich now, Wily. Yeah. The doc has whitewashed his money. Oh, this frame rate is so buttery smooth. I love it. Okay. Bye, you dumb bit. I'm Ilya. I'm like a character in this game. Cool. Nobody cares about you. I swear to God, like, in Twilight Princess, they really be like, wow, Link and Ilya, and oh my God, it's such a thing. I really don't care about her at all. I find her a very boring, unlikable character in so many ways. Wily eating chicken uses his Viking's power summon. Yeah, I need the chicken. We all know that. As always, I come back from the gym and I need food. It's useless to get it on since the game's on the 64 player already. Are you really going to spend $60? Probably 70 for nice graphics. Star Fox looks interesting as well, but like, she peaks before being kidnapped. 100% Dio. She becomes such a non-character after that. She becomes like, and this is the best I can say, an afterthought. Having a good day? Yeah, not bad, not bad. How are you, Cheyenne? I was pleasantly surprised by Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo Switch. I think it's going to be interesting. It's probably going to be $70, which I'm fine with. Don't care. Maybe $80. I don't expect DLC for it. I truly don't. The rest of the Direct, I really didn't care about any of it. But to be honest, everybody kind of knows this who has watched the channel for a longer time and heard my opinions about things. I hope. Sorry, everybody. I like mostly 3D Mario, and I like Zelda. And I like stuff like Harvest Moon. And aside from that, I really don't care about Nintendo. I don't care about Pokemon. I don't care about Fire Emblem. I don't care about Splatoon. Really, I am here for Zelda, and I'm here for like 3D Mario mostly, and that's kind of it. And sometimes 2D Mario, but I like the 3D ones more, I'll be honest. But aside from that, I don't care. Oh yeah, and I'm also interested, that's the only other thing I saw in the Direct that I am interested in, and that's Dusk Blood. I'm also still a little bit sick. Still have a bit of a cough. Well, mods, it was kind of to be expected, especially Fire Emblem. There were like 12 of those fantasy RPGs that only 5 people care about. Yeah, sometimes it really feels like Nintendo... do I despise it? Do I hate it? No, I think it's kind of a good thing. But sometimes I really don't care for all these smaller developers. I think from a business perspective, like let's say I am a shareholder or I care about like the future of Nintendo as a company. I think the fact that in a lot of their directs, they also allow smaller developers or mid-sized developers to get like a spotlight. I think that is a good thing because it improves their relationship with the company, you know? At the end of the day, those smaller developers need Nintendo and Nintendo needs the smaller developers, you know? That's kind of what they lost sight of when they did the Wii U. We all know this. They only focused on their own AAA stuff, and all the third-party developers, big and small, kind of left. And just like in the movie industry, same in the video game industry, smaller developers are becoming more and more important. More and more important. It's just like how the most recent box office hits with hundreds of millions of dollars of profit were literally made by first-time directors, small budgets, etc. That's why both Obsession and The Backrooms made insane money and were really highly acclaimed and rated. And I've seen Obsession, not Backrooms yet. And for Obsession, I 100% get it. So I think we're also... And Silk Song, for example, is another example of a game that was just made by an indie dev that also did incredibly well. So I think that's good, but there are a lot of, like, smaller indie game stuff that I just don't care about, you know? But I think the release of Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo Switch at the end of this year and the movie coming next year could be very positive for the Zelda community as a whole. I think that could be very positive. I think it could also, especially if they stick to the original Ocarina of Time in many ways, which I expect them to do. I do not expect them to deviate a lot from the original Ocarina of Time. I also hope they don't codify it, aka make... Oh, this Shadow Temple doesn't have... They kind of did this in the 3DS version, and I was not big on it. Oh yeah, I don't have to do any of this. I'm leaving. Bye. Forgot about that for a hot second. God for... Son of a... But I think... I really hope they don't, with the Nintendo Switch 2 remake of Ocarina of Time, I hope they don't codify it too much, where it's like they get rid of all the horror, blood, and gore. Yeah, exactly, Andrew, the horror and gore. I really hope they don't get rid of that. Which they did do in the 3DS remake. The bottom of the well is squeaky clean. There's not a drop of blood to be found. Which I find a bit of a disappointing thing. I think giving them a spotlight is good, but have there be different kinds of games. Remember the Farming Direct, and now this with all the fantasy RPGs would be better to have different game genres shown. Yeah, sometimes they could, sometimes in my opinion, but this is kind of, if I designed the directs, I would just be like, have sections where they show games, make sure that's like a diverse selection, so it's also not fantasy RPG back to back to back to back to back in the same section, and then have like 3 or 4 cut moments, like bigger sections, where you show off some of your bigger titles, like the Dusk Bloods, like the Ocarina of Time, you know? Zelda got 1 million views just on Dead Hand lore. True. Good thumbnail, though. Okay, let me do the Philly flip with the chicken. Chicken flip! Ooh, give me this chicken fat. Oh. There's nothing better than the fat of like chicken thigh. Alright! Spice and herbs, kids! Spice and herbs! Always spice your chicken, kids. Come on, give me in there. Give me in there. Alright, and we'll add some chili lime, because I like that. Picasso. We'll add some chili oil on top of that, some bit. I don't have, oh my god, everybody. We have a disaster on our hands. Look how little chili oil there is left. There is nothing. I am out of chili oil. The horror knows no bounds, kids. The horrors know no bounds. This is truly the scariest part. Fuck every other, fuck the Shadow Temple. This is where the horror is. Yeah, this is literally the last bit I have. Oh, I'm so depressed. Oh, somebody end it all now. Alright, everybody, I guess we're gonna do more. We're gonna play our favorite game. Dress up as the Ayatollah and see how long it takes before you get bombed by America. Because I refuse to live. Woo! We take a piece of flattest breakfast. I'm dying, kids. Don't mind me. Sorry I'm so distracted today, everybody. A lot has been going on. That Nintendo Direct really stirred me to the core. Mad about the Nintendo Switch Sports Resort. They bring back Wario Island, but no, not the Mii's. Once again, those ugly ass sports mates. I thought the thumb wrestling was stupid. I saw that and I was like, if this is... to be honest, if the Direct didn't have Ocarina of Time at the end, I would have been like... I'm interested in Dusk Bloods and nothing else on this console. At the moment, to be honest, for the Nintendo Switch 2, this year, the only thing I am interested in is Ocarina of Time and Dusk Bloods, and that's it. I don't care about anything else. Everything else is just, who cares? They sell a slingshot! I wonder how powerful it is. I must try it. Do you see any rupees in my hand? I can't afford that thing. Come on, Beth. Can you just loan it for us for a while? I don't get in trouble for that. If you want it, save your allowances or something. But our allowances are terrible. Oh, I wish I was born into a family with a slingshot instead of one with a water wheel. Mallow is such a weird character. I always thought that this was a girl. Until Bucky comes to get it. Bucky Buckfitty! Also, 3 out of the 12 games in Switch Sports Results seems to be carbon copies of Wii Switch Sports. I don't know what Nintendo's obsession is with creating I don't know what Nintendo's obsession is with creating, what you call it, sports games. Nobody cares about them as far as I know. With how popular Tomodachi Life was, they should have made it all Mii's. Yeah, to be honest, I'm kind of surprised with the fact that that game is so... that game is so surprised, but I'm mostly surprised by the fact that that game is so surprised, and then they decide not to do anything with the Mii's. I do miss the Mii's as well. I think the community is right about this. Everybody, we need to riot. Everybody, let's go over to Nintendo and riot. I think that'll be fun. Wily's having a stroke. No, I'm not having a stroke. I never have a stroke. Hey, I turned those animations off. Hey, look at the shadow. You can see on the shadow that there's like branches on the pumpkin, like vines, but they're not. That is a lie. I don't know anything about Tomodachi Life to say whether it was good or not, to be honest, Matthew, so I believe you on that. Miyamoto didn't even make an appearance. Yeah, Miyamoto, what the fuck? My brother Liam said hi. Hi, Liam! Also, hi, Link the Great. You two are both pretty rad. For giving me your time of day. I appreciate it. Well, we check out Dusklight. It's impressive, though, this... and one thing I am very excited for with the fact that now... just to mention Dusklight for a bit while we're playing. The thing that I am very excited about with Dusklight is a lot of the modding community on... of Nintendo stuff has been Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and Super Mario 64. Because those emulators ran the best, and they've been ported to PC like quite a long time ago and everything. And it's very exciting to see Twilight Princess being ported to PC now, because this will allow a lot of modders to make really cool things in Twilight Princess, which is really cool, because this engine and its mechanics and the items and everything have a lot of possibilities for cool ROM hacks or challenge runs or other cool things, you know? So I'm actually pretty excited for it. I think the community can create some really cool stuff around this. And to be honest, I'm kind of over the whole... Ocarina of Time randomizers and ROM hacks and fan game stuff, you know? We've seen that 100 times at this point. Ah, the Mawards! Me! Oh, no. Meow. I want the cat. Give me the cat. Give me the cat. I'm gonna steal the cat. We first have to kill the monkey. Kill the monkey. We're gonna kill the monkey, everybody. Watch this. Cool. Now we at least have a good amount of money for the slingshot. We should not be... I think it was 30 quid. Mainly just lack of minigames, which was the main point of their game. It's just Mizu sim now with a straight ass. Oh, my sister absolutely loved it, but... my sister didn't play the 3DS version, I think. Wily can't kill the monkey, because then we don't have a streamer anymore. Oh, sacre bleu! I'm being made out to be monkey. Can we kill the cat with the... Yo, can I kill the cat with the eagle? This was such a weird mechanic. This whole summon an eagle was like the weirdest one-off short-term cat. Kill! Oh. Cat versus Burb is an unfair fight. Also, I love the fact that everybody in the trailer for Ocarina of Time was like, I can't have the glowing Triforce on his head. Even though here it's like fucking like tattooed on his hand in TP. Wow, the cat, it really is, like... You can use the mouse as a gyro here. Can I? Wait, let me give that a shot. Here we go. Doesn't seem to work. Input? I have gyro on, right? Mouse. Oh shit, yeah, it works with a mouse now. Can I just click? No, you can't. You still have to click the button here. The cat truly is impossible to beat. Oh. Oh. Also, let me move my camera a bit so it's a bit better. So. I want it to be in the center here. A little bit closer. Tilt a little bit like that. I cleaned my desk today. Like briefly. Everything has moved inches. Luckily enough, this camera just zooms in, so no matter how the camera stands, it's usually a pretty good shot that it gives me. But, But truly, this was such a weird mechanic, this eagle stuff. It never made a return either. Like, in any way, shape, or form. In every other Zelda game, we never have a bird companion or helper, we only kill them. Truly. Okay, let me check on my chicken before it dies in ways that I do not want. Yeah! It's chicken! Okay. Now I have to do something real quick. I mean, I'm gonna blow my nose. I am so sick, everybody. And not in a good way. Baby! Woo! Watch out, everybody. If you don't watch out, then one day this camera will zoom in and I will do a backflip. That might happen one day, maybe. Bit iffy. I need to practice a lot before I can get there. Hey! Okay, let me... just pull this to shreds a little bit. Cool. You take this sheet. Run it through here. Get all the juices out of the pan. That's free flavor. Everybody knows that. Such a hectic day. Okay. Take this. Move all of this to the side. All right, let me finish this up real quick. shut up, stove. Nobody cares. I know you're on. I know you're off. Hoppa, hoppa, hoppa. Throw all of that in. Throw in a bit of veg. Wash my hands real quick. More veg? Nah, this already pretty decent amount of veg. Okay, cool. Now we got ourselves one hell of a plate, ladies. Ha! Oh, the only thing I want to do is eat. Marron's talk about ice cream didn't help as well. Only made me more hungry. Sussy Wily mukbang. Hello. No, no, no. None of that. Mukbang people are weird. To be honest, I also never understood all the people who hated the intro of Twilight Princess. I never understood. I'm from the Netherlands, PD. I'm not American. I'm European. I come from the Netherlands, the little small country next to Germany. While my English might sound like I am either American or English, like UK English, I can actually spreek een hele andere taal die jij niet begrijpt. Een taal waar jij niet met je hoofd omheen kan. And now you understand. You said I had one more bird companion somewhat. Oh yeah, true. You can use the... Yeah, but to be honest, the seagulls in Wind Waker were useless. Couldn't do anything with that. I'm gonna move this plate to the other side. My I hope it didn't insult you. No, 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 of course not, Petey. It's more of a compliment, because it shows my accent is so non-existent that people actually think I'm American. It's just kind of funny to me. That's not a bad thing. No, I would never take that as an offense. Even though most people, although a lot of Europe does not like America at this moment. Under instructions of his father. Hey, money! Use the fishing rod for car. Car needs delicious fish. Why does a car need a fish? Yeah, no, these hawks also became useless really fast. To be honest, after the intro, I think you use them 1 or 2 times, and that's kind of it. Again, Nintendo's weird in this regard. Nintendo loves to invent, like, certain mechanics. Just because they think, oh, that's pretty cool, and then they use it once, and then they never use it again. The entire game. It is kind of crazy. It's just like, Twilight Princess also has the item, the spinner. Which I think they made certain changes to in this version of, the game. But the spinner is very useless normally. It is kind of useful with some small little things and mostly in the Arbiter's grounds, and that's it. Come on. But I was about to scream baby. Come on, pull in. I love how Link fishes in this game. This is literally not how fishing works. Perfect. I love this. I love the look of the cats in Twilight Princess. They're so fat. All of them are so stubby and fat. The spinner is sick though in Hyrule Warriors. Yeah, no. In the Hyrule Warriors, they actually use it for stuff. I've seen that. Yeah, it's like a Beyblade that eats people off. Yeah, it's great. When the food is good. This is like homemade, like healthy homemade chicken shawarma is what I basically made. But yeah, no, the fishing in this game is so weird. Because Link just throws his line, he has something, and it's just... like, he pulls with all his might. Not even his entire body, just his underarm. Because he just does this. Like, hand starts shaking, you know, but it's just his underarm. It's just his forearm that he uses. He doesn't use, like, shoulder, tricep, he doesn't put his weight or hips into it. He doesn't slowly reel it in and let it go or fight or... It's so underwhelming. Hi chat, I'm not gonna stick around too long, but seeing this stream made me cook up a tier list of Link head cannons. Also, fishing in TP sucks so bad. True. Facts. Oh, Bucky, come on. You must simply hear this. My little kitty cat is so amazing. He caught a fish all by his old little self. How do you think he caught it? Maybe he's a genius. Why don't you have some too? I'm in a good mood. So it's on the house today. I love that very zoomed in, overstretched picture of the cat below me. On the left side of Link. Look at it. But you can also freely look around in this version. I'm not sure if this was possible in the original. Also, Direct was low-key disappointing, except all the cute girls, so he ended up blowing up all in-game currency in Blue Archive. Yeah, but Emmy, Twilight Princess, Ocarina of Time. It's coming. Yeah. I was looking at that as well, Shane, that the cat is so bad at hunting or so lazy that they added rat traps. Kids these days toss things all like the home. Bee larvae. Yeah, $30, like I already thought. The only good thing about OOT Remake is that they made Link look even more ambiguous gender-wise. Nah, it's not that bad, right? He just has mid-long... He just has He has shorter hair than I do. No. No. Where is it? Let me check this. No. It's, no. Of course, everybody and their mum is uploading a video about this. I am not gonna upload a video about the OOT remake, by the way. I don't do hype lore, speculation, BS. I don't care about it. I am probably gonna do some more Ocarina of Time topics, though. Nah, he doesn't look that much like a like a girl or something. Or like confusing in terms of gender. He looks like a boy who loves his toy. His hair is the same as Link in this game, basically. Yeah, we need 5 buckaroonies. We all know where we go for there. How do we get... Like, there's money up there, I know that for sure. Wait, there's nothing up here? Anyway, completely agree, mods. What did mods say? I saw Link cosplayers. I saw someone Link cosplayer while scrolling through Instagram. One of the comments said, "Leave some gender for us." Damn. Big brain idea. What if they let you choose between playing as Link or as Linkle in a new game? That's never gonna happen. Nintendo does not care. You gotta remember one thing. While there are developers in the current climate, which I think, I'm not sure if it's a good thing, you know? Because at some point we end up a bit with a world filled with degen losers, to put it very harshly. There are many developers nowadays who design their games exactly so it is marketed towards people who will overly sexualize it. Oh, whoops, shit. Do I think that's a good thing in general? Well, I think people can do whatever they want in general. Do I think it's a good thing? Probably not. The world's already filled with people who have those types of addictions, and a world that is completely ridiculously over-sexualized in every way, shape, or form. So God knows if that's actually a good thing. But I'm glad Nintendo doesn't really do that too much. Most, like, Japanese companies, they will do anything to make all the women in their game and everything look as sexual as possible or as ambiguous as possible. In terms of, some very questionable behavior is done by Japanese companies. And American as well. Oh, you can use the hawk. Yeah, no, that's a good point. I didn't even know that, Howie. I was like, how do I get to this tenor? But I'm glad that Nintendo doesn't do that, because I don't necessarily think that is a good thing. Does he know about Fire Emblem characters? Yeah, but that's like one thing. It's not like, alright, let's sexualize the hell out of Zelda, let's sexualize the hell out of Peach, and like... I think we should, you know... I think we've, in some ways, we kind of gone overboard. I think we should err a bit more on modesty sometimes. I think we've kind of gone overboard with a lot of stuff. This eagle sucks. Have you seen the Fire Emblem trailer today? Most women have... No, Fire Emblem is like the only exception. And even then, Fire Emblem is not even as bad as other stuff I've seen. If you wanna be like, yeah, oh, Gunnar bait, like, yeah, Nier Automata, that was Gunnar bait. Everything they've done with Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals is Gunnar bait. Jesus Christ, this eagle is... Oh my god, this eagle is stupid. Lord help me. Does this mean that the Legend of Zelda games will become more linear as going forward, hopefully? Well, like I said at the beginning, the Ocarina of Time remake will probably be very linear. And that could actually be a very good thing, because Ocarina of Time, because Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom kind of lacked it. Grab the tenner, you idiot. Okay, this eagle is stupid. This eagle is an idiot. Never mind. We're gonna grab the chicken. Can't wait until we're messing around with this in this game. Monkeys? I love the monkeys in this game. I think the monkeys in this game are like the best monkeys in the franchise. Even beating Majora's Mask monkeys. Even though that was also decent monkey representation. Yeah! I know. And now I can reach it. Yeah. Oh my god, there's 2 bucks up there. Oh. Well. There's one on the platform where the guy teaches you how to... Yeah, I know. We already did all of that. We just needed a little bit more money for the slingshot. Man, I'm so afraid this Zelda movie will be a repeat result of the Mortal Kombat and real-life Super Mario films. No, I think Nintendo can actually do a really good job at the OOT remake. I'm not too afraid. OOT remake, the Ocarina of Time movie. I think it'll actually do pretty well. I'm actually not too afraid of it. I think they understand what the job is. Oh, this is like the best. Even though I just cut some tomatoes, red onion, and cucumbers and put them in like a container with a little bit of olive oil and salt and pepper. And then it's just chicken and a bit of like cream cheese with peppers. That's it. Mint dinner though. I'm gonna get some water. Water! And then Jack's gonna be like, water no! This chat is a DJ. And then we're going to speed run through this intro bit. This is taking too long. Even though I quite like the intro of Twilight Princess. I never understood why people hated it or thought it was slow or boring. I actually really like it. I don't mind doing the intro at all. I quite like the look and the vibe of everything. I like the whole backstory, what it adds to world building. Bam! Out the door we are. Hey! I don't care about this. I don't care about this. Okay, chat, someone is asking me to do crap, but I'm glad to have stirred up talks. Anyway, enjoy it. TP, dog, and have fun, everyone. Bye, Emmy. Thank you for stopping by. Bucky has a slingshot! Bucky boy! Bucky! Bucky! Random Japanese sound. Nand. Oh, here come the requests. Wow, hit them both with your really awesome slingshot. Can you kids leave me alone? Wait! Of course. Okay, here we go. Boom! Oh, yeah, the mouse gyro! Nah, Shane, I don't think it's an OOT-based film, just Zelda and another in some way. I think Dr.Wily said OOT movie. To be honest, the Celtic Tiger, I would be shocked if the movie isn't like Ocarina of Time in some way. If it doesn't fit with that, then they're kind of idiots. But that's the same with Nintendo making a Super Mario Galaxy movie and then doing nothing with Super Mario Galaxy the games. But, so, you know, I could be very wrong. If you wanted to bring back any game from any franchise, what would it be? I really, really, really like a little game. As a kid, I really liked these games. As a kid, even though they're not really made for children. I really liked Overlord. I loved Overlord 2. Especially. And I'd love it if they would make another Overlord game. It's like basically you're like some dark evil ruler and you have like a whole horde of minions that you need to control and you need to fight and like solve puzzles. It's kind of Pikmin-esque, but more adult and like high fantasy. I love Overlord. Overlord 2 is like one of my favorite games. I think it's funny, I think it's visually interesting. I love the minions that you control in that game. I really like Overlord 2. So I'd love it if they made another Overlord game, but the chances of that happening are really low. I'm really tired, so early bed. Be crime, do arson, and stay cool. What, be crime? Boom, dead. Am I the only person who shed a tear when the first note of Soria song played during the Ocarina of Time remake trailer? It sent chills down my spine. Yeah, no, I had the same thing. It gave me goosebumps. Because they also did it really well, you know? Like, that shot was just very cool. That beginning shot of the trailer was just really cool. I hope we'll see more stuff soon. I assume so. Because there are only 6 more months in the year. So to be honest, when it comes to Ocarina of Time, the remake, I'm expecting that the next 3 to 4 months we are going to get bombarded with Ocarina of Time stuff. More trailers, footage, concept art, box art, the whole 9 yards. I think every month we're gonna get something. I'm sure we'll get a gameplay trailer very soon. Yeah, 100%. I'm very excited for it. And like I said already in chat, together with the movie, we can have some really good times. The game comes out, a lot of people buy it, builds up a lot of hype, community really loves it. Movie comes out, brings in even more new people that also figure out, hey, bro, and then if Nintendo is smart. If Nintendo was truly intelligent, yeah? Listen up. This is big talk. Wily big talk here. If Nintendo was truly intelligent, they would give everybody who comes to, who goes to the Zelda movie a 10% discount code with their movie ticket for any Zelda titles. On the Switch 1 and 2. That would be so smart. Especially if the movie does well. That would be so smart. Just give everybody like a 10% discount code or some bullshit. That would be so smart. For everybody who comes to the movie. Because you really would like Nintendo's pipe dream would be they like Zelda and they might have played it in the past or haven't played it in a long time. They see the movie, that gets them really back into it. They're like, oh, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Ocarina of Time remake. I haven't played any of this. And then, really get them into that. And then they become fans. That would be the smart way of doing it. Yeah, no, Nintendo and a discount is a rare thing. I know that, but I would do that if I was Nintendo. I think that would be very smart. I would have done the same with Mario. Cool. But in general, I think it would be very smart if, when the movie comes out around that time, that they would, on the Nintendo Switch front page and in their advertising material, again promote Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, and Ocarina of Time Nintendo Switch. Just throw it on the front page of the eShop again. Maybe give it a 10% discount or a bundled discount. Run some ads, post some stuff online, together with the movie, promote the movie heavily as well. That would be so smart. But what will the Legend of Zelda popcorn bucket be like? I have no idea, but this time I will get it. I blush when I'm complimented. Does that make me queer? Not really. That's not how it works. That doesn't make you the gays. I saw that man blush like $8. Horse! Link does not have a sexual preference for the same reason he doesn't have a voice. The player is supposed to personify Link. True! I wonder if Ganondorf will still have the round ears that make him look hilarious when he looks Child Link head on from horseback. I'm curious how they will do the boss fight. Will it still be energy ball tennis? Oh yeah, I need to get a lantern or I'm screwed. God bless the moderators. Wandering around here in the woods without a lantern, blah 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 blah. Yeah, take this. Oh. Yes, me too. Dead Man's Volley 3.0. What? Whoa, whoops. No. Here we go. I still really want to do a video about the giant spiders in Twilight Princess. Just smack around with a stick, you'll be good. Yeah. Well, you can't really spin attack easily like an OOT in Twilight Princess. It's been a while. But I would really like to do a video about like the giant about the giant spiders in Twilight Princess. Bonk. Buck Fitty. Do you think they'll add more dungeons to OOT Remake? I would say the chances of that are possible. Could happen. But when they remade the game for the Ocarina, for the 3DS, they were relatively cautious. I think we'll see some new forms of content, but I would say the chances of them designing a new dungeon are low. I think Nintendo will not take, like, insane risks with this game. As in, like, redesigning it, like, massively. I would be surprised if the entire story gets retconned, dungeons get complete redesigns, new dungeons are added, like huge sections and story beats. That would surprise me if they did that. Expanding the ice cavern could happen, yeah. But I do not expect a complete redesign or overhaul of like all the dungeons or like 5 new dungeons or no. They might change some things about the water temple, just like they did in the 3DS version, but that's it. I don't expect a borderline new game. What do you do in such a situation? What about a Light Temple edition, since they took it out of the original? Again, could happen. But the problem I see with the OOT remake is just like, it is the highest rated game in human history. They do not want to fuck it up. They do not want to make wild swings, and it's like you take the bus every day, and you know the route of the bus, and all of a sudden the bus driver's like, all right, we're gonna go hard left off this bridge into the water, then we're gonna go underwater for 50 kilometers. They're not gonna go off the beaten path and do crazy weird shit, I think. I would truly say that the chances of that happening are really low. That's like my opinion on the matter. I do not expect Nintendo to like try to reinvent OOT. I think they're very afraid, just like with the Ocarina of Time 3D, that they will fuck it up. I would be surprised if the game is significantly different, or if there's like 25% more content in the form of new dungeons and locations. And I think it could be cool, but I think they also run into the risk of, this isn't Ocarina of Time. What the fuck is this, you know? I think the chances of that are really big. Boop. What is on their head? Oh, it's their hair. I always thought it was like a hairnet. Dead. Maybe there could be a video talking about the Zelda mangas. That could be fun. Although that is also a bit niche, I'll be honest. I wouldn't mind them making OOT a bit less basic in the combat department, for example. Well, stuff like that could happen. It's just more like in terms of... I don't think Nintendo will mess massively with dungeons, and... I don't think they will mess with dungeons too much, and I don't think they'll mess with the story too much. Those will be pretty similar. And items. I can just not imagine Nintendo being like, we're gonna remake Ocarina of Time. And oh yeah, it is completely different. All the items you know, gone or changed or different. Dungeons, different order. Some are cut, some are new and added. Like, I just don't expect that, you know? I don't expect them to massively deviate from the original. I would be shocked if they did that. Because it could end very well, it could be cool, or it could be a disaster. Ah, don't worry, Georg. We got more than enough oil. In this world, the Strait of Hormuz is open. We have enough oil. Guys, stop debating if Link is gay or straight, lol. Nintendo just made him a male gender, deliberately never showing his sexual preferences, lol. Yeah, because they don't care. Any people who are like, oh, Link is this down, take a backseat, leave. Why? Because not everything is about gender, sex, or sexuality. It's just, it's the Legend of Zelda. Nobody cares. I'm not gonna... like... I so do not care about that shit. It's not what we're here for, you know? Wait, what? I got... Oh, wait. Or did I just grab the other chest of the heart piece and not the one with the key? Later, boys. They could keep the main story and game the same, but it could be cool if they add some extra stuff after that. For example, some secret bosses in the temple discover after the main game. Yeah, that could happen. I could see that happen. Just like how they did the boss rush thing in Link's house in the 3DS version. Oh yeah, I grabbed the one chest, but not the other. I just don't expect like the main story, the main beats, the main body of the game to be awfully different. You know? All I'm saying. That they add extra stuff afterwards, or little side quests, or like new side quests, or whatever. I could see that happening, you know. I just don't think that that the Great Deku Tree, the Dongo Caverns, Jabu Jabu Belly, all the 8 temples with the 6 temples with the medallions, I don't expect those to change. Or that Zelda is chic and blah 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 blah. And the timeline split, and the spiritual stones, all that stuff will come back. Well, it took a bit to load everything there. What are you on? Crack cooking? No. Did you hear that the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom 6 is his own art book that's being worked on? Yeah, I've seen that. But I'll be very honest. I kind of hate Tears of the Kingdom, so If I had a big delete button on my desk right here, and I could delete all the lore from Tears of the Kingdom, I would press it hard, immediately. Not even a second now. I hate Tears of the Kingdom. I hate all the lore in that game. I hate the retcon. I hate the Zonai. I absolutely despise the concept of the Zonai. Oh my god. I hate the Zonai. I hate all the lore surrounding it. I hate all the retcons. I hate all of it. I don't want any of it. So I'll keep an eye on that book, but it's not like it's necessarily subject matter that I'm very excited about, you know? No, Leonard, I never finished Tears of the Kingdom. I hated a lot of the dungeons in Tears of the Kingdom. I found the spirit companions that follow you in the game the most annoying shit I've ever seen in my life. It was such toxic, annoying stuff. Those little, oh, the champion spirits and they'll help you. They're just incredibly annoying and always in the way. I think the Sky Islands were cool and the depths were cool for like a hot second. The Sky Islands remained more fun than the depths. And I think Ganondorf was cool in Tears of the Kingdom, but that was kind of it. I think every character in Tears of the Kingdom is simultaneously as interesting as a plain slice of toast. White bread specifically. Not nice sourdoughs, no, white bread. As plain toast as you can get. From King Rauru to Sonia to Zelda. Because King Rauru's like, I know that this man is evil. Gets killed 6 seconds later and is an absolute idiot and fucks everything up. Even though he is supposed to be some super intelligent, godly creature who has been even warned by Zelda, who's a time traveler, who can basically tell him this is gonna go wrong, and he still is like, don't worry, I got this. And he still fucks it up. It's like, oh my god. These are supposed to be godly higher beings with intellect and magical abilities that are beyond our comprehension. And they are fucking idiots. They are the dumbest motherfuckers we have ever seen in the franchise, almost. But we've seen many of these plot holes, just like Hylia in Skyward Sword being like, I will die at the end of fighting Demise, so in the future I could potentially use the Triforce. And then she proceeds to never use it. It is the funniest shit ever. That is also like a gigantic plot hole in the Zelda franchise that I find very funny. But yeah, no, I just hate Tears of the Kingdom. Everybody knows this, that watches the channel a lot. So, Secrets of the Zonai could be interesting. Maybe it will flush out some things. Maybe it won't. There's a reason why I quit YouTube for a year. And a big reason was me losing love for the Zelda franchise due to Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom was a big reason also why I quit YouTube for a while. The only thing that was fun to do in terms of making videos about Tears of the Kingdom was the myth-busting stuff. And as soon as that was done, I was like, eh. There are two existent Zeldas with the Triforce at the same time. Dragon Zelda exists at the same time as Breath of the Wild Zelda and pre-time Zelda. Yeah, it's also a mess. A time travel mess once again. Oh no, bread plain, the horror. That is horror. That is horror, Andrew. Also finding cake place for birthday. What do you mean? Also, yeah, everybody, my birthday is in 8 days. It falls on a Wednesday, right? Yeah. I'm dying. Hopefully they don't try to tie Tears of the Kingdom into the OOT remake. That would make me very, very, very annoyed, Martinez. That would annoy me so much, you don't even want to know. That might actually ruin it. No, I can't add Nutella on my birthday cake, Andrew, because it's bad for me, and I have a mild Nutella addiction. Don't ever give me Nutella. There are 2 Triforces of Wisdom at the same time, meaning there are multiple Triforces. Yeah, but that has already been kind of a thing with the multi-universe. We've just never seen like 2 Triforces in a single era. To be honest, the whole Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, if you just combine it together and you're like, this is the new lore, it makes no sense. The only thing that is cool about Tears of the Kingdom lore and how they did it, you know? The only thing that is cool about it, yeah, is the fact that in Breath of the Wild, you can reinterpret some things that were said in Breath of the Wild, like the prophecies or the tapestry saying that the answer can be found below, and that the Hylian Kingdom, the Hyrulean King and the Hylian Kingdom thought, oh, they mean the divine beasts and the guardians. But no, actually what they meant was Ganondorf being buried below Hyrule Castle. That was the only cool epiphany I had about Tears of the Kingdom lore combined with Breath of the Wild lore, is that when King Rome explains about digging up the divine beasts and the Sheikah in Breath of the Wild, and that the hint they got, oh, look below, it's buried below, blah, 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 blah. That actually wasn't talking about that at all, but it was talking about the fact that Ganondorf was just laying dormant, semi-sealed in below Hyrule Castle. Have you tried the peanut-tella? What peanut-tella? What? What are you telling me? Is this real? Peanut-tella. What does it taste like? It's just peanut butter. Yeah, but I don't really like peanut butter that much. I'm not that big on peanut butter. Especially, on a sandwich or something. The problem I have with peanut butter... Nutella with peanut butter mixed in, now that could actually work. Also, we heard the history was steeped in darkness and blood, but it was just Ganondorf's war. Yeah, which is just a bit underwhelming. But again, Nintendo... I don't know, the franchise is too old, so they need to retcon it or they're fucked. But I don't like peanut butter that much, because, it's too schmucky in terms of texture in my mouth. And to be honest, while I really like the flavor of Nutella, I don't eat Nutella too much, because Nutella, I don't know what it is. Nutella is the only thing that if I eat it, if I eat too much of it, which is like 2 sandwiches, my teeth will start to hurt. My lord. It is the only type of food I've ever had that with. Peanut, and I've been to the dentist many a times in between. It's not because there's something with my teeth. And it's the only food I've had it with. But, when I eat Nutella, it physically hurts my teeth. My nerve endings on my teeth fire off like a machine gun. So I don't eat that much. I really like the flavor of Nutella, but I don't eat that much of it anymore because it really hurts my teeth. Yeah, it's like the nerves themselves hurt. I have the exact same thing, and I only have it with Nutella. And I've been to the dentist many times in between. It's not because I have a cavity or something, you know? Might be causing gums to redraw to some sort of reaction. I have no idea what it is. I never had it in the past. This is something that has happened the last couple of years. If I eat Nutella, it just hurts my teeth. I think it's because of the sugar. I think it's so sweet that that it hurts my nerve endings. I can literally eat a spoonful of Nutella and nothing happens. Yeah, no, it will hurt my teeth. If I eat too much Nutella, my teeth will hurt, and that's really fast already. Father, 50 Bucko is the best horse ever. Yeah, this is her peak. Yeah, facts. Ilya scolding Link. We soothe you in the spirit spring. You'll feel better in no time. Yeah, but that's because Ilya now, like, this woman only cares about the horse. Ilya only cares about the horse, never about Link or anybody else. She's like the horse girl who hates people, like, secretly, you know? She's very antisocial horse girl. Coded. She's taking 50 bucks. Everybody's taking your money. No, 50 Bucko! Come back. No, I do not play Fortnite. Alright, let's ask ChatGPT. No, Gemini. Let's ask maybe Gemini has a form of idea of what might be happening. When I eat Nutella, and only when it's Nutella, my teeth hurt like crazy. It feels like the sugar could... I have no cavity. Ouch, the sudden sharp hit the ceiling kind of pain is the worst, especially when standing between you and Nutella. Yeah, facts. Even though you don't have any visible cavities, which is awesome by the way, you're describing is a classic dental phenomenon. You aren't imagining it, you're spot on. The sugar is absolutely the prime suspect. Okay, Nutella is incredibly high in sugar and has a thick, sticky consistency. When that concentrated sugar hits your teeth, it triggers a process called osmosis. The sugar pulls fluid out of the microscopic pores in your teeth towards the outside. The sudden shift in fluid pressure inside your tooth directly irritates the nerve, causing the sharp pain ache. Since you don't have cavities, the protective enamel in your teeth might just be a little thin, or you might have slight unnoticed gum recession. This exposes the layer underneath dentin, which is packed with tiny nerve pathways. No, I don't really have that. Heat sensitivity. Do you keep it in a cool pantry? Sometimes it's a double whammy. The extreme sweetness combined with a slightly cold... No, I don't keep it in the... I keep it in the pantry. The water swish. Immediately after eating a spoonful, vigorously swish your mouth with luke water to dissolve and rinse away the sticky sugar film. Switch to sensitive toothpaste. Potassium nitrate and fluoride. It takes 2 weeks to build up and it essentially acts like a shield blocking those microscopic tubules so the sugar can't trigger the nerve. Make sure that... might be worth mentioning to your dentist at your regular check. Okay, yeah, I think I'll ask my dentist the next time I see him. Because I'm just curious. But I think the first thing, like the osmosis pressure of the sugar, basically the sugar pulling out... the sugar pulls out fluid out of microscopic pores in your teeth. I think that might be the reason. Because I keep really good care of my teeth. I go to like a dental hygienist every half a year. I brush my teeth every day. I floss every day.
So I would be kind of surprised if my teeth are like completely fucked, you know, because I take really good care of my teeth, and my dentist always says that I really do a good job as well. And my dental hygienist as well, who like cleans every inch of my teeth. Oh yeah, we need to go to the thing. Osmosis Jones? Caused tooth infections to them. Maybe it was tofu, too much soybeans, chemical goods. Tell children not to eat that. Unhinged Zelda theory. The new Decatry in the Wind Waker timeline merged the Kokiri and the Deku into one race, and now you're stuck with Koroks. I mean, could be. They are related 100%. But I guess I'll ask my dentist about it as well, what he thinks about the whole Nutella thing. But Nutella hurts my teeth like mad. There's nothing like it. Like even when I eat, even cold doesn't irritate or hurt my teeth that much. Also, it doesn't sound too fetched. Changes in charge concentration can make neurons fire more or less easily. Yeah, and according to Gemini, like it is an insane amount of sugar, and that's what's doing it. The sugar is pulling out all the moisture, an osmosis effect, and that causes the pain. And its only advice was getting like a toothpaste for sensitive teeth, so it can create a new layer of an extra substance that is in that toothpaste that might help. It also explains why when I eat it in the beginning, I am fine. But as soon as I eat too much of it and my teeth are like coated in the Nutella, it starts to hurt my teeth. And it could also be that my teeth are not really used to it. Because to be honest, I don't like sweet. I don't eat a lot of sugar. I don't really like sugar that much. So it could also be that my teeth are not used to... Like, my teeth never get sugar, and then we get, like, tons. I get burn wounds when I touch, cut, or chop raw garlic. That is how. Bucky! If you came to take 50 bucko back, you can forget it. She stole my money! Kill her! But it is a bit of a shame because I really do like Nutella. But I've only have it with Nutella. There's nothing else. It's not like chocolate milk or even like a very sweet drink. My teeth are not like super ultra sensitive like for cold water. If I drink a glass of cold water, I don't care. I can eat candy. My teeth don't care about that either. It's just Nutella. It's just the Nutella thing. Playing Zelda games spins off conversation to Nutella teeth sensitivity. Yeah, because it's so weird. I hadn't heard of details about Talos' capture, but Colin, your name is lame. Your name is like one of the guys from The Office. And now she stole our buck fifty. No, my buck 50 bucko. So you still prefer your master over me, huh? 50 bucks? Yes, I am the master over this money. I am Bucky, of course. 50 bucks is mine. 50 buckaroonies are mine-o. The garlic irritates my skin to the point it starts feeling like it's burning. I will get burn marks and blow up like a light burn wound. I can use my hands for 2 days afterward. That's crazy. How can you handle sour things? Well, I don't really necessarily like sour things, but I can handle it. If sugar is the sole reason, you would expect it to happen with other sugary foods with the same viscosity. Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't eat other stuff with the same viscosity. I eat other sugary goods sometimes, not that much to be honest, but not of that viscosity or that concentration. I am a Nutella enjoyer, but I should actually see if it... You know what I should do? Wait, how much sugar is in Biscoff? Biscoff. How much sugar is in Biscoff? A fuck ton, right? Yeah, because it's only speculaas. Holy moly! Biscoff is 36 grams of sugar for every 100 grams? That is crazy. How much is Duo Panotti? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my... Wait. Okay, yeah, no, I think it will be hard to find something that is similar to it. Because while Biscoff, you know, the Biscoff cookie spread, Lotus, Biscoff, I know this is like an international thing. I know like a martial artist who eats it from the UK. But Biscoff has 36 grams of sugar per 100. Nutella is 56 grams of sugar per 100 grams. Nutella is 60% pure sugar. This might actually explain why the sugar effect, like... Yeah, no, I think that actually explains it really well. 56... are there reduced sugar versions? I should try and find that for Nutella, because maybe I'll still really like that. I'll be taking in less sugar, which is healthier for me, and it won't hurt my teeth. Because, geez Louise, I have never heard of anything having almost more than 55% sugar. 56 grams of sugar. In 100 grams. There's more sugar in it than chocolate. Or hazelnuts. Or even palm oil. That is crazy how much sugar there is. How about apple syrup on bread? I don't really eat apple syrup on bread. But that's also really high sugar. I'm curious if apple... Wait. Apple syrup. I love how they make the packaging look like it's healthy, even though it's not. How much... Apple syrup is similar. That's 57 grams of sugar per 100. So I should actually... But I've... Wait. No, I was about to say, I sometimes... I've also eaten jam in my life. And I've never had that, like, teeth aching moment. But that only has... like 28 grams of sugar. Again, what? I swear to God, there's almost nothing that rivals Nutella in terms of sugar per 100 grams. That is the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. Oh my God, never mind. There are some products that are made out of 92% sugar. You're just basically eating sugar. Oh, spooky, scary man with the spooky, scary hand. Look at him. I should see if apple syrup does a similar thing. Like if that does a similar thing. But again, I think the most sugar I eat is in the fruit that I eat. Yeah, the best character is by far the Moblin guy. The big Moblin man. Jam has a different viscosity as well. Yeah, true. Oreo milkshake. Link wakes up like Michael Myers in this and I can't unsee it. Lamau. Kids getting murdered and kidnapped, meanwhile Wily complaining about sugar. Yeah, I have a relatively healthy diet, everybody. I eat, like, flatbread, and, like, cucumber and tomato, and, like chicken, and I drink like milk and 0 sugar, like lemonade. I think the amount of Coca-Cola, sugar-free or not, that I drink in a year is less than 1 liter. I don't really eat unhealthy shit. I think the most unhealthy stuff I consume on a weekly basis is like alcohol. That's it. What is Oreo milkshake? How much sugar is in Oreos? Oh, Oreos only has 35. I swear, it's unbeatable. Oreo milkshake. Wow. How much milk goes into this some bit? 50 grams. So even an Oreo milkshake is less sugar than Nutella by like 10%. I'm sorry, Howie. I was kind of obsessed with talking about this. Wily on that American Coke versus European Coke. European Coke, duh. European anything. American Coke is way too sweet. Everything is too sweet in that country, but that's because they allow to scoop sugar into it like it's nothing. But to be honest, there's one type of soda that I like a lot, and it's the only type I would love to have. Fructose is a sugar, but different from normal processed sugar we have. You forget about what kind of sugars are in fruits and Nutella. Yeah, no, true, that as well. Look at the Mars and Snickers protein powder for starters. Yeah, this is why you always read the back of a packet. But a lot of things I buy, I always read the back of a packet. And I try to keep my saturated fats low. I try to keep my salt low. I try to keep my sugar low. Or if it's sugar, then it's like sugar in like stuff that requires effort to consume. And I try to increase my fiber intake as much as possible. Because those are the 4 things that you need to look at that will keep you alive. And then obviously my protein, because exercising. But I really like Cassis. I do love Cassis. I love blackcurrant soda. I love that. And I also really like Spanish Fanta, because there's a lot more orange juice, like actual orange, in Spanish Fanta. But I think my favorite soda is probably Cassis, yeah, like blackcurrant soda, like a grape blackcurrant soda. I love that, and I love Fanta, but especially Spanish Fanta. But I don't really. But I don't really buy sodas. I buy like 0% sugar lemonades, and that's and milk. That's the only things I drink. I don't even drink like orange juice or something, because again, it's not really that healthy for you. It's just a load of sugar and bad for your teeth. I've never had the Fanta Cassis version. I've never had the blackcurrant Fanta version. Getting the recommended fiber can be pretty hard. True. That's why you should try to incorporate it as much as possible into your diet. In easy ways. For example, instead of grabbing white bread, try to grab bread with a decent amount of fiber in it. Same goes for other forms. Like, I do this as well with stuff like oats. I do it with beans. Do it with veg. So I choose veg with high fiber in it. I eat beans in my diet, like lentils or kidney beans or chickpeas. Those are all really nice. I quite like beans. And they have a lot of protein and a lot of fiber. I buy a lot of bread with high fiber. I buy a lot of pasta with high fiber. I buy a lot of wraps with high fiber. I really started to focus on that more and more when I started living on my own. Oh, here goes the chat. Beans! I'm glad chat gets so much enjoyment from the beans. They use corn syrup instead of sugar, which is cheaper but unhealthier than sugar. Is there, like, how much... Gemini. Gemini's usually a decent place to get a 2 cents. Is corn syrup worse than other sugars? I'm curious about this. The short answer is no, not inherently. That's already what I thought. Sugar is sugar. Carbohydrate is carbohydrate. Gram for gram, regular corn syrup isn't significantly worse for your body than standard table sugar. However, there's a lot of nuance packed into the question. Mostly because corn syrup gets confused with its chemical cousin, high fructose corn syrup, which you do see a lot in America, because of how our bodies process different types of sugar molecules. Glucose is used by every cell in your body for energy. Fructose is fruit sugar, which has to be processed entirely by your liver. In high amounts, fructose is harder on your body. So probably in essence, fructose is better for you if you eat it like in fruit form, because then this is also a thing you gotta remember. Sugar is not bad for you. Sugar and fats, without any fiber to help slowly digest it and kind of suck up those sugars and fats, is bad for you. So you should always have something with it that has like forms of decent amount of fiber, so it can help suck up the bad parts. This is also what I've been taught by a dietitian. Okay, regular corn syrup, 100% glucose, is actually less sweet than table sugar. It doesn't trigger the liver strain that fructose does, but it does spike your blood sugar. 50%. Normal table sugar is 50-50. The chemically bonded, your stomach acid breaks the bond instantly, delivering a 50-50 split. High fructose, regular corn syrup is treated to turn some glucose into fructose to make it sweeter. It is mostly identical in terms of ratio to table sugar. Honey. Yeah, but honey also has a bunch of other shit that's good for you. The free sugar factor. In the table sugar, glucose and fructose are bonded. High fructose corn syrup, they float around freely. Some studies suggest your body absorbs those unbounded sugars slightly faster, leading to quicker spikes. Yeah, but at the end of the day, sugar is sugar. That is true. Like, the most important thing with sugar is how fast you digest it. That is what matters. Because that is what spikes your blood sugar. This is why if you eat an apple, there's sugar in an apple, but that is fine. But if you eat like a Mars bar, even if you eat the same amount of sugar, like, your body will process it. It will be better for your body to eat the apple due to the fiber in the apple helping with processing the sugar slower and not creating massive blood sugar spikes. You saw the Nintendo Direct? Yes, I'm very hyped. I'm very hyped. Definitely not good for you at all. Well, it's just, Howie, it's like I said, sugar is sugar. It just really, it really depends on how you consume it. You gotta remember, we as a species were never really designed to go into a store and buy for pennies, literal pennies, basically concentrated sugar that we pour down our throats. The only form of sugar that was like that we could find in the nature was like honey. Which also has a bunch of other shit in it, which is really good for you. But I'm very excited for the Zelda remake, Clifford. I'm very excited. Uh-oh. Nope, high fructose corn sugar is definitely bad. A doctor would agree. Who is called doctor here? No. Well, yeah, no, obviously. Everything is bad for you if you eat too much of it. It's the whole point. Problem is that Americans are used to eating slop, arguably. Ow, oh, shit. I had this problem the last time I played OOT. But no, technically, high fructose corn syrup, again, in moderate amounts is fine. And again, combine it with a form of a fiber. That is the most important. This is why, even if you take, for example, orange juice, and it is truly, you literally saw the man with oranges press it by hand. If you drink a liter of that, it is still bad for you. Like, really bad for you. And it will spike your blood sugar like crazy. Because there's barely any fiber in it. And you are drinking... And you're consuming that sugar at a really rapid pace. Compared to, like, for example, eating oranges. Or mandarins or whatever by hand. That's the main problem. This is why apple juice is also not necessarily healthy for you. In high amounts. If you take a small glass of like 100, 150 mils a day, that is fine. But if you're like, I drink a liter of apple juice a day, freshly pressed organic apple juice, this is healthy, you're lying to yourself. Your body, you'll just get crazy spiking blood sugar. Because again, like you're consuming it at a rapid pace. Like your body is absorbing that sugar really fast because it's liquid, so you're grit and it's in you. And there's not really that much fiber because they got rid of all the pulp. There's not that much fiber sucking up that sugar and slowly releasing it into your bloodstream. So, it doesn't matter whether it's like sugar straight from an apple or it's high fructose corn syrup. That doesn't matter too much. The question is always how fast do you consume it and do you add fiber to it so the body can more slowly digest and absorb said sugars without crazy spiking your blood sugar. Would this wolf be starving with how much he runs? Yeah, oh, he certainly would. I ate three apples a day when I was younger, and it led to me gaining weight from too much natural sugars. Yeah, exactly. It can just still happen. This is all really good advice. Not surprised, though, it's coming from a doctor. Health and nutrition advice in the Twilight Princess stream. What a time to be alive. I'm here for it. Yeah, I've read a lot about this, and I have been exercising for a long time, and I hang out with a lot of people who are dietitians or physical therapists and stuff like that. So I've been around for a while, you know. You learn a thing or two. I've been going to the gym and exercising and hanging out with people like that since I was 14. I have some great news. I went to the doctor today. My liver is recovering from fatty liver, but I found some weird spot. So I need a second MRI. Since July last year, I've gone from 106 to 89.5. Maroon! Applause for the man. Yeah. Good man. Good man. If I remember correctly, long-chain sugars such as carbs are better than non-bonded single or double. Yeah, again, because processing. And in terms of fats, it's always very easy because you have unsaturated and you have saturated. Unsaturated fats are great. You want them in as high amounts as you can get. Saturated fats are bad. Unsaturated is good. Saturated is bad. I learned this in high school. Also, we also had like during high school, because I went to a pretty interesting high school. We had a lot of classes, which were very interesting, which weren't necessarily required, but we got it anyway. So I also got cooking classes and food and nutrition classes when in high school, which is actually a really cool thing. So I also learned a lot of stuff from her about like food safety and prepping and what to look for on packets and what is unsaturated and what is saturated fats. I learned a lot of that stuff in high school as well, because we just got it in class. But I also had gardening, I also had animal care, I also had florists. I went to like an interesting school with a lot of practical stuff as well. It was really cool. Aside from just like Dutch, English, German, math, stuff like that, you know. Algebra, blah, 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 blah. Beware of those Radiohead dragons. Yeah, those are pretty cool though. Actually, we went to a similar school, Wily. We had goats. They were my friends. Yeah, a best time. I've had the best time there. It was great. Best choice I made. Going to such a school. It was a lot of fun and learned a lot of cool things. I learned a lot of like random shit that is still useful. I learned a lot about woodworking. I learned welding. I learned how to work with stuff like angle grinders. I know a decent amount about like a lot of animals and biology that you wouldn't necessarily learn during biology classes, like normal biology classes. Yeah, for me, Marone was VMBOT, but they call it GL, gemengde leerweg. So it was VMBOT level, so high level college basically. But we also got a lot of practical stuff. It was just for people who might want to become farmers or might want to become electricians or other things, but they are, for that profession, like certainly like in the top 20% in terms of intelligence. So that's kind of what that school was made for. Oh my god, the Radiohead bird! Kill it! Kill it! Shoot him with a gun! Come here, you Radiohead bird. Oh, I almost jumped off. It's more professionally orientated. Mouse. What? What did Mouse say? Only negative thing was that it was during COVID and it became depressed, so... you don't always throw six, as they would say. My niece does VMBO basis. My condolences. I bet she's lovely, but I've associated with those people, and my lord, that was the closest I've ever been to an actual zoo while talking to human beings. Holy moly. That was the crazy shit ever. For the people that don't know, that is like the lowest high school level you can do in the Netherlands, basically. There's like one lower, technically, but like you rarely hear about it. But god, man, I've met those kind of people. Holy moly. Truly was like the zoo. Never had those classes either. I don't think they really do those. No, they don't. VWO is just too high. VWO is like university level, basically, here in the Netherlands, and it's too high. They don't do that. Oh, Mots, you would have probably loved what I did. It's basically people who like to work with their hands, but they're not stupid. It's basically people who work with their hands that could very well do like a high-level college degree or like a beginning university degree. Like that's the intelligence level these people have. So they could become doctors, lawyers, legislators, but they would rather be an electrician or an engineer. You know, or work with animals, or work in the agrarian agrarian field, like with crops and everything. Or they wanted to start their own florist shop, or whatever. It's like the perfect mix for those people who would love to do something more practical, or start their own business, but they don't want to go to like a lower level education and kind of end up with like the electricians who kind of shock themselves 20 times a day because they're not the sharpest knife in the drawer, you know? It was like for where I was, perfect. Because I, like in terms of my like intelligence, I just never did anything at school. But my intelligence level is like university. I could do, I could finish like university educations and write theses and papers but I just never cared about that. I'd rather do something with my hands, you know, always. So that's why I went to that. But I wasn't, like, if you would throw me into class, for example, with like bog standard car mechanics, I would look like God to them. Because those people are dumb as hell, you know? Again, great at a car and everything, there's nothing wrong with them. It's not like they're a waste of space or idiots or useless. That's not what I mean. But like, you don't have to ask them to write a dissertation. If you ask those people to write a dissertation, they would look at you weirdly because they don't even know what the word dissertation means, you know? That's kind of the thing. It's just different folks, different strokes. But they could probably name like 5 things that are found in a car that I've never heard of in my life, you know? My niece is kind of femcel-ish. Oh, that is bad. I was talking about this with my sister recently, and it really seems like the world is slowly but surely, from what I'm seeing all around on mainstream television, the internet and everything, there are so many people who are becoming radicalized and either become misogynists or fall into the category of misandry. So basically, like being discriminatory against men because they are men, you know. Like my sister also said that she's like in a Facebook group with a lot of women who are dating, you know, and they're all discussing amongst themselves, and she said the amount of misandry in that group is crazy. So many women in the dating scene who are like just like that. She's like, that take you said about men there, or the assumption you just made about men, that really sounds like really discriminatory. Like you're all judging them equally, and they're all guilty of the same crime. You know, and it's like she also sees very weird shit. She said. My niece is kind of femcel-ish. She draws a lot and likes to cook, but she generally has some mental boundaries. She cannot see that, for example, 1 liter is the same as 1 decimeter square, or what is 7 times 3. But she's good in language. Yeah, this is what I mean. No, not feminist or misandrist. That's not what I mean. Just meant someone who doesn't go outside, like a Klausener. Oh, more like hikikomori. Yeah, no, okay. Usually, if you say femcel, I assume more somebody who falls into the misandrist category. That could still mean they're kind of like hikikomori, so like kind of shut in. Yeah, and if you have nuance or reason, you will be hated by both of them. Yeah, exactly. And my sister and I fall into that category. So my sister kind of sometimes talks with them and they're like, you know, well, I'm leaving. This is not working. These people are crazy. And I only get attacked by everybody. Because she's also said to those girls who were in the dating scene, and we're probably kind of, their misandry probably came from the exhaustion with dating. Just like a lot of misogyny from men comes from exhaustion at dating. Or like interpreting, not understanding how it works or blah, 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 blah. But those people are hard to communicate with. But no, what I've seen from like the lowest rungs of education here in the Netherlands, VMBO, basic, as they would call it, like the basic education, basically the lowest level you can do. Those people can be very nice, but you do notice a difference between you and them. If you are... There's a IQ difference. And you notice it quickly. Yes, Hikikomori is best comparison. Yeah, you have a lot of people who kind of are like Hikikomori-esque nowadays. I like a lot of the cutscenes in Twilight Princess, because they have a lot of dramatics to them, you know? For the fact that Nintendo tried to create like a hero's journey, medieval fantasy epic on the scale of Ocarina of Time, but better and grander, I actually think they did a really good job with Twilight Princess. Some people really criticize Twilight Princess, but I think Twilight Princess really succeeded in a lot of the goals that Nintendo originally set out. With a high stakes, high fantasy, medieval epic adventure, you know? No, because of depression or anything, just because she hates annoying people. Decent chance that's somewhere on the spectrum our own. Wouldn't surprise me. I also love that when people are like, oh, she hates annoying people. I really like that statement when people say that. Because it also kind of comes over as if they're better than everybody else. As if they're not flawed, annoying, mistime their jokes or whatever, you know? I always find that people like that are always very sour about other people, and and sometimes it kind of feels to me, and sometimes it is 100% that, but sometimes it feels to me that those people just have a very strong lack of empathy. They're just like, oh, all these people, they're all so annoying. Not being able to understand that they might also be those people to them, you know? Like, it's a lack of social comprehension, I guess. That's sometimes what it feels like. Not that she is that necessarily, it's just usually when people say that, that's always what I think. Do I lack empathy and sympathy? No, you don't, Dio. It's not necessarily that it's a guarantee, but it could be... like, for example, that could be a reason. It could explain, because some people who are autistic are like that. Not necessarily mean that you are, Dio. There's somebody else, there are many other people that I know that are autistic that fall in the same category as you. As in social, they have empathy, they understand. Oh, why do you lack? Oh yeah, I'm reading over it again. I'm assuming the sentence before finishing it. Facts. Zant had so much aura, and then he turns out to be a crazy clown, especially. Yeah, it's kind of funny though that the man was aura farming like mad, and then just ends up being a lunatic. I quite like it, actually. I like the twist of Zant being some sort of cold, stoic, dark ruler, you know? Some sort of killer, you know? And then he just ends up being insane. Why do you just skip a word every now and then? Well, sometimes I just kind of assume what the sentence says and then talk. It's a combination of dyslexic and ADHD, I think. Because then I don't have the patience for the sentence, and I'm like, oh, I know what the sentence says, and then I'll just fill it in, you know? I love how Midna is like a horrendous person at the beginning of the game. Like, truly a horrible human being. She's 17. I'd say she has a certain lack of empathy, or at least a little ignorant, but not because she chooses to be, I guess. My brother divorced her mom when she was 6, and it's not been an easy one. Yeah, fair. Yeah, obviously there are also like factors. Especially divorce can really rock a child's upbringing, and that can kind of like paint them for life. Well, not necessarily for life. Around their early 20s, they start to deviate truly from the line. You see this in general. The first 20 years of your life, your character, how you behave, etc. A lot of things are defined by your upbringing. And the older you become, the more you start to deviate away from that, you know? Like when you're 30, your upbringing does not define you anymore. And if it does, then it's been your own choice. There's been like very clear research about this. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm off to work now. It's been a blast. I'm glad I caught this. Hope you all have a fun stream. Hopefully you can catch another one soon. Bye, y'all. Bye-bye. Good luck at work. I hope you enjoyed my little ramble about various kind of topics. We talk about like Nintendo, about games, but also like a lot of different random subjects in a lot of depth and nuance. She was just kind of in the middle, and then her mom and doctor. But good luck at work, and thank you for stopping by. She was kind of in the middle, and then her mom and doctor tried to convince her she was trans, but she wasn't, and many other things after that. She just lacks patience with people. Yeah, no, I get it with that. Also, that is really messed up for a mother and a doctor to kind of force that onto a child, especially if they kind of press it far enough that it starts having real-world consequences with stuff like medication or other shenanigans. That is really weird. Really weird. The ADHD mind reads faster than it processes. Facts. Not really surprised to hear you say that. What that I basically read faster and skip? Yeah. Human being, Midnights of Twilight. Yeah, true. True. Hello, hey. Is it broken? Thanks. No, she's a devious little imp, but I do not like it. She's terrible because she's having the worst day and having to work with people who imprisoned her people. But yeah, I do like it. And it's well explained why she treats you awfully at first. Yeah, I think out of all the companions, Winda has the best arc and best story and best everything. Ah, whoa. Yeah, very weird that a doctor went with that. I hope she's doing okay. Especially, I can imagine that can really mess somebody up. If you all of a sudden give them a borderline identity crisis by saying you're trans. Yeah, but I don't know you are, you know? Like, how do you mean I'm gonna scar my kid for life and give it an identity crisis? Yeah, about the reading stuff. Yeah. I just get distracted really fast. I forgot stuff at the gym today, but I was riding back home. Just another example. Lineback is the best companion. No, lineback sucks. No, lineback is okay. Certainly better than King of Red Lions. He wins that timeline easily. Yeah, agreed, Shane. Others might recognize signs, but it's for you to figure out. I also think in general with stuff like that, you know, like when it's very cornerstone, who you are, personality type stuff, I think it's kind of like an awful thing for people to kind of try and coerce or influence or steer that in a way. I think that's kind of bad. In general, I think, especially like if somebody's trans, they should kind of figure it out themselves, and then when they come out with it, you know, to the world or everybody, then it's like, all right, let's have a look at this, you know. Then it should go over some, depending on how far the person wants to go, some scrutinous review, as in and time, you know, so we really know what we're doing, what's happening, what we really want, and you know, it's a thing that can easily take like years to figure out, like properly, you know. Why's she not? Okay. I wouldn't even do that necessarily, Chang. I would just kind of think that, but never say it out loud. It's like you're still kind of influencing them in a way. Also, Andrew, you can't really say that, please. I like a good Diddy joke, but this is not really the time. Video finished. Yes. Which one? Which one did you start with? Yeah, we got 2 videos this week, everybody. Also got wounded pretty bad, so he can't go search for the kids. I'll take over for him. Sort we were going to represent to the royal family. You should still be at Russell's house. Mainly if they are showing signs of questioning, then you could advise them. Yeah, oh yeah, oh no, that, yeah, no. But then you haven't put the thought in their heads, to put it that way, you know? They already had the thought, they're just asking you, and you're just, quote unquote, like, giving sources or clarifying. Doggy! Nighttime walks are so nice, aren't they? I hope they find something good buried today. I love digging holes and looking for treasure. I love this dog. I love this dog. I love this dog. Monster! I am a dog! Yeah, I know I need to climb on the shop. I was way too early for that, actually. You were attacked by that hawk? That's for him. I'm sorry, that person calling the hawk's my master's husband. I always thought that he was a woman as well. But that's just because when I was younger, you know, you're kind of smooth brain. You're simple in that regard. You always think, long hair, woman. Short hair, man. That's how deep it went. Even though he doesn't sound like a woman at all either, you know. If somebody just had a haircut that made me think that's a woman, then it's a woman, you know. And if they had a haircut that made me thought that's a man, then that's a man. That's it. That's kind of it. That's how deep it went. At least in Twilight Princess, because there were TV shows and things that I watched where there were characters with long hair, and I knew that it was a man. Well, he's just a trans ally. Yeah, exactly. I call him out early. I tried to win those polymarket bets, brother. Do you really think I do not have a polymarket bet open right now of every YouTuber friend that I have that at some point they will come out of the closet? Of course. I'm ready. I will cash that check. I will cash that check. Cash me outside. How about that? Where is she now? Is she dead? I'm not smooth brain, Shane. Be nice. Where's the window? Here's the window. The remake of The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. I'm so excited. I'm very curious about the first gameplay footage that we're going to see of that game. Why is a touch trans icon a representative? Yes. I should be chosen. Most rude, smooth brain motherfucker ever, you know. Chicken! Fresh face, huh? You're a sharp one to realize that you needed to come introduce yourself to me if you want to know anything about this town. What do you say? This is usually a quiet place, but there was a bit of a ruckus today. You gotta know, monsters attacked the village and made off with the little brats. You look like a bit of a monster yourself. You're gonna be hanging around town. You might want to see it stay out of town for the people. I wasn't born in Pride Month for no reason. It was fate. Yeah, this is well, like yeah. In the beginning, I never knew about this, but it was thrusted upon me. This position. June is my birth month for a reason. I was born into gays. And exactly, well, not exactly in the middle. That's a bit of a shame. How many days are there in June? Not 34, so... I'm 2 days off from being exactly in the center of June. Before his transition, he wasn't called Time, he was called Tay. Yeah. And now the long hair is back. It is my destiny. I'm like Link trying to save Hyrule, except I'm gonna save Pride Month. Wily Riz? What? Monkey Riz? Wily is Pride Jesus. Yeah, baby! I can't get in there, stupid. Ah, the wolf on a night when the moon rides high. Beautiful. Tell me, what is your true form? A human who's not currently in town? Nah, just teasing. You're lucky. Money? Yep. We already have $100. We're rich. Oh, the camera is fixed in this place. The Ordon sword. I love how they wanted this is a sword crafted by Russell, the best swordsman in Ordon, as a tribute to the royal family. It's just a shitty sword. It's not that special. I like that chicken. Go put it to explore you first transformed into that shape. Okay, let me go through the front door. Why do you has long hair, girl? Yeah, exactly. Wow! Beast, I found you! Whoa! Whoa! Oh no! Oh, I will kill you, Russell! Come here! Oh, you're not ever gonna grab me! Oh, yay! Oh, yay! All right, I'll leave. Bye. Long hair is actually a masculine thing. It's slowly, but it's slowly changing. Well, what I've figured out, though, over the last couple months, especially, is that a lot of women like shoulder-length hair, or slightly longer, plus facial hair on a man. That works pretty well. Uh-oh. Beware, a shadow being it approaches. It's a spooky, scary. Dead. In tribe that I'm descended of, men had long hair, so me. I had long hair when I was young. Donated 114 centimeters of hair to a wig fund. Ooh, shit. Why are they doing the Jesus look to get him? Get them whamming. Whamming? Well, I think I've gotten to the length of hair that there are women who really like it. And I think a big contributing factor is probably Lord of the Rings due to Aragorn and Legolas having long hair. I think that actually helps my case. Funny enough. Oh, sometimes he has a bit of a problem with keeping memories in keeping assets in memory. Also, the image quality of the font is still really low. Also, I want to do a video about what happened to the light spirits as well. Love to do a video about the light spirits. My brethren in Hyrule have already had their light stolen by these fell beasts. It's a light goat? That's a goat, right? Yeah, it's a goat. The entire kingdom has been reduced to a netherworld, ruled by cursed powers of darkness. Light will not stop at Hyrule. Long before the entire world of light will fall into the hands of the king who rules the Twilight. The lost lights must be recovered. 3 lights you have lost in light must be revived. This is the only... Oh, this rendition. Such a good rendition. Wow, my true power. Those transformed by Twilight usually cannot recover their original forms. Unless, if you were to return to Faron Woods, where you were first transformed, if you were to revive the light spirit there by the power of the light spirit, you may find the means to regain the other state of being. This is the only thing that kind of sucks about Twilight Princess, is the collecting the bugs. That is the only part that kind of sucks. In my opinion, they could have changed that segment slightly and also shortened those. The only time that collecting bugs in the Twilight Zones is fun, in my opinion, is in Kakariko Village. Because it is kind of... it's very compact, you know, and there's a lot going on. It's the only, like, segment that is sort of interesting. Oh, here we go. Faron Woods that you knew so well. They're now covered in twilight. You may not be able to come back here, but do you still want to go? No, I'm gonna live my life as a wolf. Ooh, shit. Wait, give me a hot second, everybody. I'm writing a video about wall masters and other, like, crazy dark enemies from the Zelda franchise. And I was writing about, like, oh, where do the wall masters come from? And the floor masters and stuff like that. But now that I see, like, Midna's hand with the Twilight, I'm thinking, ooh, maybe floor masters or wall masters are, like, Twilight Realm creatures. That is very cool. Maybe Twilight Realm creatures? Midna power looks like floor master. That is a cool take. It's a cool little tidbit to add to the video. That's a good theory. There are wall masters in Twilight, in the Twilight Palace. Ooh, and only there. Ooh. Good that you're mentioning this. Gonna add this. Because then I have 3 possible explanations. Brother, give me oats. They are seen in TP and only in Zant Palace. So, yeah, cool. Save, yes, cool. Well, I won't use these, but I'll hang on to them for you. I find it funny though that they put them on as masks. Collecting bugs was kind of annoying the first time I saw the big gross bug about to throw up. Yeah, that one was gross. That's a good theory. Yeah, it's a very interesting one, because I already had a theory where I said I think they come out of a different dimension. Because my first claim is, especially in the first artwork you see of wall masters and floor masters, is that they are, I said they are just, you can clearly see that they are like a torn off hand from some creature. And I'm like, oh, they could be a moblin creature. You know? Like a moblin's hand torn off, empowered by Ganon's power, and then restore his hand. And that's kind of it. And the second take I had, especially due to floor masters and gloom hands, is that they basically come from like a different dimension, kind of like Phantom Ganon from the gap between dimensions. But now we can actually tie it to the Twilight realm really well as well. But it's a wall master. Yeah, but that's fine. I covered wall and floor masters. They are kind of... Goedenavond! How you liking Dusk so far? Pretty good, Armin. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Next time that we're gonna mess around with it, we're probably gonna add like texture packs and stuff. But they have a lot of cool settings. They have fun little cheats, glitches, all kinds of other things. So far, I think it's really cool. We're probably gonna mess around with this a couple more times on stream. There's like texture packs and the mods and other stuff, you know. Because so far we've only been playing it a bit. And we haven't really messed with the cheats. So, like always, great spin, fast iron boots, can transform anywhere, fast roll, fast spinner, free magic armor, invisible enemies. Oh, invincible enemies. Prevent enemies from taking damage. We're probably gonna mess around with these settings in like later streams. There's another PC port in the works, right? I think that was basically all rolled into one. Which became Dusklight. Because we are running Dusklight version 1.3.1. Which is the newest version of Dusklight. And I think that's like the 2 projects combined from what I kind of understand of it. But I'm not sure of that, so don't quote me. And like I said to other people and earlier in the stream, the thing that makes me most excited for Dusklight and the fact that we have a PC port of Twilight Princess is that just like with Super Mario 64 and like we have seen in the past with come on, I want you to not fast enough. But the thing I'm most excited for is the fact that we can... is that the modding community can finally make some cool stuff aside from just Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Because so far we've had a lot of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, ROM hacks, fan games, randomizers, blah, 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 blah. I would love for Twilight Princess to finally be able to get cool texture packs, mods, ROM hacks, fan games, custom dungeons, all kinds of cool shit. Because so far this has very much only been reserved for, well, no hearts for me, I guess. Because so far this has very much been reserved for the N64 titles, basically. If you look at the Mario scene, you can see that everything is built on Super Mario 64 and not that much. There are some things for Galaxy and some things for sunshine, but not that much really. So I love the fact that it opens the door for that. Please be careful, these woods have changed. The dark clouds of dust cover this land. That drape the shadows, it's called Twilight. In this twilight, those who live in the light become as mere spirits. It is a place where the dark ones and evil creatures dwell. I am a spirit of light. The modding scene for Breath of the Wild is insane. Yeah, no, that is true. That is true. The Breath of the Wild modding scene is kind of insane. I agree on that. True. But at least, like, it's more the point that it allows Twilight Princess to shine. Have you seen the teaser for the OOT remake? Insane. Yeah, I've seen it. A bit iffy on the art style. But again, we have no idea if this is like a cutscene or just promotional material. We don't have no idea exactly what it's going to be like. But I'm like, not sure what I think about it. But I think it could be really cool. I hope they stick to the original Ocarina of Time mostly. I don't think it would be a very good idea for them to go off the beaten path too much. They'll probably add some new content, just like they did with OOT for the 3DS. But I do not expect them to completely re-engineer the game and the new story, new pace, new everything, you know. I don't expect that. But you never know. And I think it could actually help the Zelda franchise a lot. Both in the sense of... the Mario games most likely being able to... the Zelda games becoming a bit more linear like they used to. Hopefully Nintendo learns something from remaking Ocarina of Time, where they are able to create a better hybrid of Breath of the Wild and Ocarina of Time. So cool linear dungeon sections and stuff like Zelda items and some old classics that we used to have. As well as the open world of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. And I think it could be very cool in the fact that OOT remake releases at the end of the year. Early next year, the movie. We could really have another like big like Zelda resurgence. Because after Tears of the Kingdom, a lot of people felt kind of betrayed and were kind of burned out. At least from what I noticed and my fellow Nintendo / Zelda YouTubers as well. Yeah, the art style was a bit Focus M. Link has giant hands, but it's fine if they decide to go with it, honestly. Yeah, it could work. It could work. It's 11. Yeah, I need to kind of wrap up stream a bit. I'm probably gonna get some light bugs and I'm gonna kind of wrap it up. Oh yeah, I needed to get the stick, right? Oh no, that was in the other place. Yeah, no, I kind of get what you mean by that. You know what? It also reminds me a lot of Armin. It also reminds me a lot of the Unity and Unreal Engine Ocarina of Time PC remake stuff that we saw, especially in 2017 and 2019. Between that era, you saw a lot of like Ocarina of Time, but it's Unreal Engine 5. You know, that kind of shit. 100k views on Zeltic hype OOT remake reaction. Yeah, as expected. A lot of people look to him for that. Zeltic's audience remains a bit of an enigma. From what I've also always noticed with Zeltic's audience, which is kind of a shame, to be honest, that they're kind of like that from what I've noticed and what he says himself as well, is that a lot of people who watch, like, who are Zeltic fans are like, I only watch Zeltic and no other Zelda YouTubers, because they all suck, you know, like, they're very elitist sometimes. It's kind of weird, because Zeltic is not like that at all. But he always gets scolded by his fans. When it's like, why are you collabing with another YouTuber? We only want you and nothing else. Nobody else, only you, okay? You know, it's like, Can I not make a fun video with somebody else? Help! His audience is a bit dogmatic. A bit of dogma sometimes. Even though he doesn't necessarily... He hasn't fed them in that regard. He hasn't made them like that. Like coerced them or coaxed them into becoming like that. No, all those Unreal Engine things are just are like demos at best, you know. But they aren't like actually released. I actually want to kind of plan to do like a collab with I actually want to do a collab with Celtic again. I'm like kind of just like a little bit in the works with Monster Maze to do something. He wants to finish a big project and then we're gonna work on something. Also probably gonna go to his place somewhere this month. Haven't seen the man in a while. And he lives on the other side of the country, so I'm just gonna... which is not too far. So... You don't really choose a fan base, I feel like. Yeah, no, certainly not. Certainly not. You kind of end up with the one that you have. You can kind of steer it and slightly form it. But for the most part, you're kind of, quote-unquote, stuck with them. Looking forward to these collabs. Yeah, I want to do some more collabs, because now that I'm back and I'm really in the swing of things and I really like the videos and I think we're at a very cool creative process and the videos feel good in terms of like editing, sound design, script writing, you know, everything feels good. So now I'm like, yeah. Also to bring back, also to expand our audience again and get some old people back in the fold or new people in the fold. Let's do some collabs. Celtic fan. Celtic keeps his fans in the basement hungry and without light. No, it's just like what I mean. It would be funny though. Well, Celtic, from what I understand, Celtic doesn't interact too much with his audience. From what I heard, like this was like a while back. Like Celtic is sometimes kind of overwhelmed by his own audience. And I can remember when he made like a Discord server. Is a Celtic Discord server. And that Discord server quickly ballooned because a lot of Zelda publications were also like, oh, this is a cool Zelda server, check it out. And it kind of ballooned. And he lost control of it and he jumped out of the server. He basically jumped ship, which was really funny to me. Because I was with him when he told me about all of this and all of this went down. But he said, it grew to like 500 members and I can't keep track of it and it's too much. And he said that when he started the Discord server, it quickly gained traction also outside of his channel because of like stuff like Zelda Universe and other things pushing it. Yeah, it was really funny to me. and also the part that he left the server or put it on mute or something, like, because he was like, I can't do this. Your YouTube feature, by the way. What do you mean? Oh yeah, I was in the server for a while. Never seen Celtic for a whole year. Yeah, because Celtic is just like me. Celtic loves to make videos, but Celtic is not somebody who's like, I'm gonna tweet 6 times a day, or I do Instagram stories and Snapchats, and I'm on my server every day. And like, he's not like that. This man just likes making videos and being left alone. Just like I'm also like that in many ways, you know. I do it all on my own terms, but I don't want to live, breathe, and be social media and online and available and blah 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 the whole time, you know. Like, and he's similar. Monster Maze is like that as well. He likes doing YouTube and everything, but it's on his terms. How about Commonwealth Realm? Maybe. I need to contact the man in general. Oh yeah, the bridge. I need to contact him anyway. But he's been doing, like, the videos he's recently been doing is not really my forte, you know? But I should contact him. I haven't spoken to him in a while. Wait, what are you on about? Whoa! YouTube featured. Where can you see that? Where is that? Time to write a 200 chapter Wily X Celtic fanfic. No, that had happened before. Not again. Where is that? Is that just on the main page? How does that look? How does that look in general? Totally gonna ignore your Instagram stories whenever you go live. Yeah, I don't post that much on Discord anyway. On Instagram anyway. It's on the main page. That is kind of... That's pretty cool. That's pretty rad. YouTube. Hey, that's pretty rad. It's kind of a shame, though, we don't get many people to the streams. Away with you, Discord. Yeah, away with you, Discord. Yeah, everybody's posting about the OOT remake. I'm curious how it's gonna affect the views on videos. I expect actually the Ocarina of Time video to do really well. Like the what happened to the Ocarina of Time video. That video is probably gonna do incredibly well. Cool. I like though that like this is how the bug section should have been in every section. Yet we still have under 25 people. Yeah, I don't know what it is. How many views have we had? 476, 468. We have a lot of viewer loss. Views are relatively steady. Average view duration, 8 minutes and 26 seconds. Also on YouTube TV. Well, that's pretty cool. Shout out to YouTube for being a legend. Oh, you know whom I haven't heard from in a while? Game Over Jesse. Yeah, he's kind of posting again. But to be honest, again, I never had, like, I don't have any ill thoughts about the man. But when it comes to his channel and the content, the reason why Game Over Jesse kind of disappeared is because Game Over Jesse just couldn't keep up. The quality of his content was just too low. That was his main issue. In the land covered with twilight, those people roam as spirits. You were transformed into a blue-eyed beast. That was a sign. It was a sign that the powers of the Chosen One rest within you and that they are awakening. Look at you, awakened form. Oh. I like this version of the hero's tunic the most. Especially because he has like chainmail underneath. I think that's a really cool touch. Or at least it looks like chainmail for me. I think what happened to the Triforce is doing better than what happened to the Ocarina of Time. Let's have a look. He did too much unscripted podcast stuff. Yeah, unscripted stuff is edgy, whether that works or not. You really need to have like a strong personality to carry. Is it affecting views in general? Let's have a look. So far not really having an effect on the 6 small Majora's Mask. Alright, let's see. Which one's growing faster? Apparently someone I know went into making chainmail due to the tunic. That's really cool. Making chainmail, by the way, is such a pain in the ass. Okay, the Triforce one is getting 677 views per 48 hours. The Ocarina one is getting 863, so the Ocarina one is doing better so far. How's the Big Goron video doing? Because that's also like a classic OOT topic. Like 100 views a day. That's not much. Sadly enough, the last couple of videos I've been uploading haven't done terrible, but they haven't done really well either. How much is the 6 Small Majora's Mask one growing? I like the look of the tingle though. Let me see. That's growing at like, yeah, 40 views an hour. Something like that. Let's see. How's the click-through rate? That's what matters the most. The mostest. What's the click-through rate? Hey, whoa, whose video is that? That's a pretty decent thumbnail. Ugh, click-through rate is not great. Who ruined Zelda? Whose fucking video is this? Who the hell's Bistendo? Who's this guy? 39k in 3 days. That's pretty impressive. Who's this guy? Your name is Bucky. Yes. Favorite moment of the stream is the monkey saying, your name is Bucky. It's a pretty good line to come back to. Also, I like the cinematography a lot in Twilight Princess. They went with interesting cinematography in this game. Brave Bucky. Big Goron, my beloved husband. And Wily ascended to Valhalla. And I went. Yeah, who's this guy? What is this thumbnail? It's a pretty decent thumbnail, but it is a bit of a weird thumbnail. It is the only video this guy has uploaded that has done well, except for the one criticizing the opening of Twilight Princess. Aside from that. But what a weird thumbnail choice. Wait. Wait, I need to check this out. Wait, give me a second, everybody. Because I can see what videos my viewers are watching. And I saw this one among them and I was like, what the hell? I'm going to check out the video in general, but... Nah, this thumbnail could have used a little bit more effort, in my opinion. The man clearly uses AI for thumbnails, which I'm not necessarily against using AI here and there for some Photoshop and editing. But this one could have used some more work. Oh. Oh, there he went. Yeah, you see the water artifacting on the line of like Link? That's still like a little bit of an issue. Because obviously that's not how it's, not what's supposed to happen. Well, you're the chosen hero and all that, huh? That's why you turned into that beast. What a shame. I mean, you'd rather just wander as a spirit like the rest of them, totally unaware of what was happening for all eternity, right? So, what do you want to do? Do you want to head to the temple? Well, it isn't convenient. I was about to head there myself. Hey, look, you want to help your friends, right? Mr. Important Hero. Yeah, we're gonna save it here. Bucky, baby! Alright, lovelies. Thank you all so much for coming to the stream. It was a chaotic one, to say the least. I hope to see you all tomorrow. We're probably going to play Donkey Kong Bonanza. Maybe Dusklight, but probably Donkey Kong Bonanza. Alright, love you all so much. Thank you all so much for coming. Be sure to check out the videos if you haven't yet. Dan, that's kind of it. Right. Cool. Bye, everybody. Bye. Bye. It was really nice. Bye, everybody. Bye, everybody. Bye. 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 Phantom, I'm sorry you're here at the very end. How do you keep doing that? See y'all tomorrow. Got volunteer work tomorrow, so if I'm not here, just assume I got eaten by flying sharks. Pretty good. Yeah, amazing timing, Phantom. You really can't get it better. I love you though, Phantom. You are an OG as well. So that's what you get. My love, my love. That's it. All right, cool. Bye, everybody. Thank you all so much for coming. I hope to see you all tomorrow. And if you're not here, be sure to check out the videos. Cool. Bye, everybody.